Hello, welcome. Adam Thomas from Balancing Touch Reflexology. So good to see you, and thanks for joining me today. Well, today we're going to go check out the biggest temple that's in Ashikaga, and I come here every year because it's so cool, so I wanted to show it to you. And in the meantime, while I'm here, I want to show you and talk about the different shapes of toes, because shapes of toes actually can give us some great information. So let's go take a look at that. So you can see behind me we're at the west entrance here, and this dates back to 1432. So now we're looking at the shape of a peanut, basically. So the toes kind of go through a filtering process. So they come up at the top, then they go in, then they go out again. So whatever quality of the mind the toe is, this gets expressed. When it comes out, it goes through a filtering process. So, you know, there's gathering, and then there's sort of filtering, throwing out what's not needed, and then there's gathering and then filtering out what's not needed. So this whole energy of the toe gets filtered and is a different expression, or basically an edited version of the original expressed quality of the toe. So here we are at the main gate of the temple, and brings us to the shape of sharp, pointy toes. Okay, so sometimes you'll even see that there'll be a little bit of a callus even, right? And this is noticeably like a sharp, pointy tip to the toes. And what this basically means is that there can be, whatever quality of the mind it is, there's a laser sharp focus to the delivery of that quality, right? And so sometimes it can even be so precise and so laser-like that it can end up cutting who's ever on the receiving end of the quality of that toe. It's funny, as I'm just talking about these, you can see over here, it's kind of the pointy shape I'm looking for. So you can see the main temple behind me here. And that brings us to the next shape, which is a spatula shaped toe. So you know, like a spatula where you flip your eggs or pancakes, that sort of thing. So this shape has a skinny stem, and then the pad of the toe is quite large. Okay, so shaped like a spatula basically, right? And so what this shape means is that the quality of the toe can be expressed with great power, and then it also means it can be released with great power. So kind of like a dam where it can build up, and then when that quality of the toe needs to get expressed, it can actually like flood the whole area, can basically explode. And so the power there in that toe can be expressed with such great power, right? So just to have the visual of a dam, and then also releasing of the dam, is a good one to think about there. So next shape we're going to look at is a bottleneck shape. And this is kind of like those old stubby bottles, that came like this. And so they have the little, the tip on them, and then they sort of bulge out that way. And that's the shape that we're looking for here. And it means kind of the same thing, where it's kind of like bottled up energy of the quality of the toe. So it's bottled up. And we know with any type of like beer or soda or anything that's fizzy, that when we shake it, when that energy or that quality gets shooken up, that there's an explosion that happens, right? So the quality of this toe is exactly that, where that energy gets bottled up to where it can't stand it anymore, and then there's a big explosion that can happen with that quality of the toe. So that is looking at bottleneck shaped toes. And the last shape that we're going to look at is a twisted toe. So this is any toe that's kind of twisted, right? And so this, the meaning behind this toe is whatever quality of the mind is that outside influences have convinced the owner of the toe that that's more important, and sort of whatever track they saw themselves going down has now in a way been derailed or pushed from the outside influence, and now they're basically twisted. You're basically twisted in a different direction that was intended to go. So there you go, 5 of the most common toe shapes that I come across during my practice. And for me, I don't really need to remember all the different, category of the 5 shapes and remember that it's a spatula toe or a sharp toe or, a peanut-shaped toe. What I find really useful, and I think this would be useful for you as well, is to pretend that the foot is kind of like an open vessel, like it's hollow. And what would it be like if you were to pour water basically through it, and how would that water get dispersed at the end? So basically that's what we're looking at, the quality of the toe, which I talk about in another video. So if you haven't seen that, go check it out. I'll put a card up above here, or in the description I'll have one. And what it is that the quality of the toe, so for example, if you're talking about the big toe or the second toe, right, you're talking about thinking qualities and idea qualities and also feeling qualities, right? So how is that getting dispersed? So if you're thinking about the peanut shape, water comes through it, it pools up, it gets a little bit filtered down, and then it pools up again and it gets filtered down again. So that quality goes through a filtering process basically, right? Or like a really sharp, tip toe, that energy gets shot through like a laser, right? So, like a garden hose with the nozzles, different nozzle settings, right? So that just gives you information as to how the quality of that toe. So your feelings, right? If it's really sharp, your feelings are very sharp. They're very laser-like focused, right? And they come out, of the garden hose in a spray, right? Like a laser focus type of thing. So that's really helped me, is just to think about how it is that liquid would be coming through the toes, and that quality, once you attach the quality to that liquid, basically, that would give you some information. So anyway, I hope that helps. I hope it's some good information to work with. I know it's helped me in my practice, so I wanted to share that with you today. So anyway, Adam Thomas from Balancing Touch Reflexology, thanks for watching today, and I will see you in the next video. And remember to keep those feet happy. Bye-bye. Let me know what you thought of this video by leaving a comment below. Any type of feedback can be useful. If you like this video, you can give it a thumbs up. And if you found it useful, feel free to share it with anybody who might be interested. Make sure that you have subscribed to this channel if you haven't already. And make sure that you hit, or better yet, step on that bell icon so you know when the next video is coming up. And if you have some more time, why don't you check out some other videos. Till next time, this is Adam Thomas from balancingtouch.ca.